week. Moses said she's traveling on Sunday. He's traveling on Sunday, right? As Moses is living here, we'll be only on Saturday, on Friday and Saturday, and Sunday morning he's traveling, fully paid. Say it's possible. Mm-hmm. It's possible. So with some, thunder clapping for Madame Victorine, put our hands together as she makes her way forward. Yes. Thank you. Let me borrow your phone, right? Or use it? Okay. No problem. The stage is yours. Mr. Kaba called me and told me she needs to come. Because God saw the hunger in you and then brought her. So stay attentively, pick your pen, your paper, and God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. I didn't hear the energy. Good afternoon, everyone. Great. I would first of all begin by saying thank you to Mr. Mola. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share. And I'm grateful for the community of Open Dreams to stand before you today. I'm not going to be very long, but I hope that we get to learn something, right? So I'm going to pick up from where Mr. Emmanuel, was talking about. My story that you're going to hear is a story of God's grace. And I just want to put that out there as a disclaimer that there is no me without him. And if you're a young person in here, let nobody deceive you that there are successful people out there, give you like many examples. But let me tell you that real success, real fulfillment is found in Christ. So my name is Victorine Michael. I am from the Northwest region, and I grew up in a very big polygamous family. And for those of you who have polygamous homes, you can get to understand that it is the survival of the fittest. Do I have a witness? Right. It's the survival of the fittest, so it was not all rosy, and we were not taught to imagine. We were not taught to dream. I finished primary school and I studied in Government Bilingual High School, Babaju, not very far from here, for those of you who know the place. And I really wanted to do sciences, and there was no second cycle in my high school at the time. So I traveled to Douala to do opposite and lower sit. My dad took me to a private college. I was very excited, that I was going to do lower sit science. But one Monday evening I came back and my mom told me, you know what? You're not going to that school anymore. We are taking you to this government bilingual high school. You're going to do A4. This is me who had wanted to study medicine from. What had happened was I had gone to the hospital. The doctor took good care of me. So I wanted to do the same for people. So when she said, you're going to do A4, it's like all my dreams were dashed. Like, boom, I cried my eyes out, of course. I spent a good time in lower seat crying, okay? Because I was like, how am I going to do A4? Like, I want to do biochem, physics, maths, That's what I wanted to do. But I poured out my heart to God, and he gave me the courage. So, yeah, I went to lower seat, upper seat. Okay, now we are done with the upper seat. What next? I didn't go to the university immediately. I did a vocational training. And I did a vocational training in web development, And this was after 2 years of hawking, 2 years of selling in the streets of... Who has been to Douala? I want to give an example. Okay. Selling in the streets of Marché Glace, selling in the streets of Texaco Agropo, selling the streets of, in Yaoundé, Carrefour Obili, walking to Melen. It was a whole struggle. And I received a link one time from a mentor, and she said, Victory, apply to this opportunity. I had never known what a scholarship is, all right? This was me after A-levels. I'd never heard about scholarships. So if you're here after your O-levels and you're listening to me, please clap for yourself. Yeah, you're clapping for yourself because what you're hearing is not given to everybody, actually, and I want you to take it serious. So I had finished my A-levels and I knew nothing. So this lady, she said, Victory, this is a link, apply to this school. I'm like, okay. She helped me, and I got a MasterCard Foundation scholarship to the African Leadership University in Kigali, Rwanda, where I studied computer science. So when I got the scholarship, another difficulty posed itself. I never had a passport. It looked like I was going to travel with my ID card. Anyway, so I told my parents, okay, I've gotten the scholarship, I remember Mr. Kings when he was sharing, he said, one of the challenges that you face is the challenges of family, right? So my parents were not very, oh yeah, let's go get it, kind of. It was not like that. They were like, you want to go to Rwanda? Do you know you are not going nowhere? And I was like, I want to go to the university, and this is the university I'm seeing it before me. Well, I happened to be in the group where people were preparing, people were traveling already, getting themselves ready. But I couldn't because, of course, how will I even take a step when I don't have the basic requirement? So, a friend in the group chat reached out to me. She said, Victory, we are packing. Are you ready? I'm like, no, I'm not taking no step because I don't even know I'm going to board that plane. She said, okay, I'm going to share with you somebody's number. Reach out to this person. So I reached out to Mr. Akaba James, and I told him, I said, sir, this is my scholarship offer. This is everything, and I have to go to Kigali to study. I was in Douala at the time. He said, okay, can you make your way to Yaoundé? I'm like, yes, I'm coming. So in a few days, I traveled to Yaoundé. I met him at the Open Dreams Center. That was how I got to, integrate Open Dreams. So he took me to the passport center. We did, and I was praying because this was in December, and school has to start in January, okay? If you know Cameroon at the time, there was no way you had to have a passport like that. So I'm like, God, again, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but you have to do this for me. And I kid you not, to cut the long story short, I had my passport in 24 hours. Yes, I had my passport in 24 hours. And I would share, that it could have been no other way than God's grace. And the fact that you take bold steps, which is where I'm going to start from. In this journey of making impact, in this journey of creating a pathway for yourself, you would have to be bold. You would have to be bold, especially for me as a young woman, for example. They tell you, oh, computer science, and coding, and technology is for the young men. You better go study nursing, go and study food and nutrition, because that is what you have to do. I want to tell a young lady here that, listen, you can be the best engineer you can be. You can be the best aerospatial engineer in the NASA. You can be. So, thank you. So I want to say, please learn to take bold steps. Take bold steps. Be bold. Be resilient. I do not mean be disobedient. There are two different things, because sometimes you might confuse them. So I just want to clarify that. I went to Yaoundé. I was bored, right? But I had to get my parents to say, okay, go. That's very important. All right? Let's not mix it up, okay? Yes. So, yes, be bold. Remember, society, circumstances are telling a story. You are responsible of either validating that story or rewriting it. You are responsible. Because I told you that I I was in these different cities. I just had in my heart that I wanted to be different. And this was me going into lower city excited, and my dreams were dashed. Boom. And you are wondering, what then should I do? But I told myself that no matter what happens, I'm going to make a difference in this life. I don't want to be a nobody. I don't want to be a nobody. And that was how my journey to MasterCard began. And I want to share a framework with us today. It's called the ACE framework. The ACE framework. It is an acronym, ACES. ACES. So this is for you who is preparing to write your scholarship essays. I just want to share some tips, not very far from what Mr. King has said, but it's very important for us to repeat some of those things. A stands for academics. Academics is very important that you demonstrate strong academic performance and enthusiastic curiosity. Who has heard of the slang, school na scam? Who among you agree that school na scam? Hey. Okay, don't worry. You don't want your friends to see you. But I see some of you in your faces. You're like, now, Big Gate dropped out. Minko, I can still be successful. Hey, listen. You must understand that in the playing ground of success, there are things that you must use as a leverage. And your academic excellence is one of them. The composition and the arrangement of our society has made it a way that you cannot afford to say school na scam. You cannot afford to say school na scam. It's not possible. In where they are giving the examples of those people, they had other leverages. The economic, political, and societal orientations have made it possible for somebody to thrive in those places. But for you, school cannot be scam. It cannot be. It should not be. So in tracing your path to, reaching that place that you want to be, academics is very important. You must demonstrate, you must cultivate. It is very sad that many of us today are losing the culture of reading. Who loves to read? Okay. A fair proportion of the people, please. If you are somebody who do not like to read, I'm encouraging you now. Begin to expose yourself. Begin to open yourself, because that is actually what brings transformation. Knowledge brings transformation. You cannot be transformed without knowledge. Are we together? You cannot be transformed without knowledge. And that is why academic excellence is very important. So that is A. The next one is C. Community. Community. I just wrote here, show engagement in your community. Show engagement in your community. Please, if you want to climb this ladder of getting admissions and getting scholarships, you must show involvement in your community. For me personally, I was volunteering at a local NGO in Douala, right? And that was what gave me what to write, even in my essay. You cannot be a CC and you want to eat the fruits of hardworking people. Like Mr. Kingsley mentioned earlier, the support that the scholarship brings is because it is to create a ripple effect. But then how do they trust that you're going to create a ripple effect? It is from the steps you're taking already. So if you're in your community, I remember I would organize cleanup campaigns in my quarter at the time. I would go to secondary schools. I did not know much then, but I just wanted to be involved. I just wanted to engage in my community. So if you're here and you're thinking, me, I, and myself, then forget the blessings that come with community service. Through volunteering, there are many opportunities to volunteer nowadays. In Open Dreams, there are many opportunities to volunteer. There are local organizations, even here in Bafsam, in Bamenda, in Douala, especially if you are in any of the rural communities that are around here. It is a leverage. Do not say, oh no, there are no big organizations in my village. You start an organization in your village. That is how leaders think. I remember I left Douala. Like after learning all of these things, I left Douala. I came, to a village for 1 week. What was I doing? I was not being paid. And I was teaching women how to make soap. This bar soap, right? Yeah. I was teaching how to make soap, and they were like, oh, okay. Why was I doing it? Why? You must allow the pain of the people reach to you. You must begin to look beyond yourself, because only the fact that you're seated here, it's already a call into leadership. It's already a call into taking action. So if you are not involved in your community, you are taking yourself far away from the opportunities that come with it. You're not ready to play in the field of greatness if you are not solving problems that are pertaining to you. Right. So I want to share a very interesting thing that happened in the community. So I went to Kigali. Remember I said I went to Rwanda, right? Yes. And I came there as a new student, looking towards school. But that community service inside me did not stop. I gathered my friends. You don't need the 1 million to create impact. I think that's another myth I want to, erase from our mind. Some people are like, I need 500,000 francs, I need 1 million. But please, you can create impact in your community without spending a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these are already enough people for you to reach out. So I talked to my friends, we gathered some clothes, we gathered different things that we had, and we reached out to, the survivors of the genocide. And these are the stories that when I am writing an essay, when I am putting forth an application for a leadership training, these are the things I talk about because I've actually done them. So have a heart for community service. Are we still following? That is the C in the ACE framework. The next one is E. Mr. Kingsley talked about it earlier, extracurriculars. You need to be involved in clubs, in initiatives, and in creative pursuits. How many of you were in clubs or are in clubs in secondary school? Not very many. I was in a club since primary school. I was in the drama club. And I remember that there was a sketch we made, and it was about HIV and AIDS, and I was a mother, okay. I was a promiscuous mother who left her husband to go and cheat, and she came back with HIV. And I remember that I had to display the symptoms of HIV, so I was scratching myself. And my friends were supposed to be my children. Instead of helping me scratch, they were pinching me at the time. And I literally had to slap them on set. I'm like, stop it, stop. So be involved in clubs. Because there are just some things that you can only build when you actually do them. Like, for example, I continued in university, and I was leading the Christian fellowship on my campus as the, Christian fellowship chairperson or lead, at the Africa Leadership University. So there are just some skills that you draw when you are involved. When you are in school, whether in the university, whether in secondary school, get to know the things that are happening around you and get involved, because those are the testaments. If you go to my different schools and you ask about, Victorine, Michael, they will tell you something about me. Not because I was the loudest, not because anything, but because I was just involved. Be involved. Do not be the kind of opposite girl that is like, I'm in opposite now. Straight uniform. You junior students, don't talk to me. I'm your senior. Don't be that kind of senior. Right? Don't be that kind of senior. Be the kind of senior that the junior you will have wanted. The senior that is interested in their juniors. The senior that is holding the hand of the junior students through the clubs, through the society. And like I said, get involved in your different schools. If there are no clubs or societies available, why not create one? That's just how I'm thinking, right? That is the mindset that you need in approaching, even when you travel. Oh, currently, I'm doing my master's degree in Canada. Okay. So, thank you. So when you travel, for example, these different traits, right, that you've built are the same traits you're going to carry, just in a magnified form. They're the same traits you carry. If you have been somebody that, okay, I'm on my own, I'm not minding anybody's business, nobody comes and talks to me. When you go to a new place, you find it difficult, because the people that people are attracted to are people who they see are interested in other people. Naturally, it flows, resources, the relationships, the finances, the opportunities flow towards people who are not only reservoirs, but they are channels. What I mean of not only being reservoirs, but being channels is that